This is Coach Cheryl, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you've been with me for a while, you'll notice that I've revamped my YouTube channel. I've taken down previous videos. If you have YouTube videos from me, from our working relationship, just know that those links are still secure, but a lot of stuff's not going to be public anymore. But if you've got things that you've already activated with me, then those things will still be okay for you. If you're new to my channel, I am an intuitive guide and energy coach, and I am specifically focusing right now my work on supporting the art of conscious relating. A little bit about me, if you're new. I have been working as an intuitive guide and energy coach for the last 3 decades. I've been doing my own transformation work. I'm in my 60s. I've been doing conscious transformation work for over the last 4 decades. I started in my 20s. And so my history has been that I've worked as a solopreneur. I've been always in my own arc of transformation. And whatever season I was in, whatever it was that was awakening in my consciousness, my aligning into divine coherence with what I call source or God or that energy of life that moves through the universe, things would awaken in me, and then I would just come out into the world and I would be speaking into fitness or health or nutrition or relationships or mind mastery or emotional intelligence, or I'm a somatic therapist, right? So I teach breath work and anything that was activating in my consciousness and the healings, the integration of my shadows, right? So I was liberating the shadows in my life and bringing them into the light and just allowing myself this beautiful spiral, which is just a really long way of saying I have a lot of personal experience, a lot of it. And the thing that I know to be true is that the greatest portal for me anyway, and most of my clients, is the portal of relationships and the two sides of relationships, right? The parts of the relationships that activate us into growth, and then the parts of the relationship that we are able to be fully expressed and consciously sharing and expanding and growing within ourselves first, and then within the containment of a relationship with another person. And so the purpose of this channel now is for me to come in and speak specifically into relationship dynamic. What does it mean to have a conscious relationship, and what's some of the components of having that conscious relationship? So I'll be speaking specifically into what is conscious relating, and then what is the pathway of that? What are the tools for that? What are some of the perspectives for that? What are some of the dynamics and the strategies, and how do we access our relationships as a healing balm, as a pathway for expansion and growth? Just the relationship aspect of how do we return ourselves and others back to who they are, right? To the truth of who they are. And so we're going to start with the most intimate relationships, right? Our lovers, our partners, our siblings. If you're a parent, the parent-child dynamic, the sibling dynamic. And then we're going to move out, right, into our community, our extended family, and those relationships, and then further out into the community relationships, and then further out into the world, maybe into the country that we're in. I'm in South Florida in the United States. And then how does this all relate to what's happening collectively? Because right now there's a acceleration happening. Even if you can't relate to me saying that, it's happening anyway. Things are just happening, and it's all connected, right? What's happening at an individual level is also happening at a bigger global level. And I really believe that right now we have this opportunity to focus where we want to land and how we want to be living, and what our desires are, and how can we really align in the space of being deeply connected to the creation of life, that source energy that moves through us, that's embodied within us, but that also has us connected to life. To shift the perspective from creating our life from fear and many degrees of ego fear, right? The degrees of fear that are coming from our egos or our conditioned perspectives. And then what does it mean to really close the gap of those ego fears and allow ourselves to surrender into the currency, the current, the connection, the alignment, the funding, the fueling, all of it, to be in that alignment with God or source, so that we're actually following that leadership. We're following that inner authority. And we just don't know what we don't know when we're in that connection. Even when we're in our fear perspective, what we know is our fear perspective. So it's really letting go of that and allowing ourselves to come into this other way of saying yes to life, and then recognizing that our relationships, things that are happening right in front of us, are the best portal, the best way for us to step in and receive the reflections that we need that are going to help us close our gap in fear, close the gap of the degrees of fear that we exist in, and to surrender ourselves into a broader, much broader perspective. So this is what I want to do with this channel. And in addition to that, is something that I do for my clients is I'm an oracle. I am a channel, and I read energy. It's one of the things I get to do is to see people in their blind spots, to help them see and close the gap between where they are in their fear and where they are in their connection to their alignment in their source, right? To really regulate themselves into safety so that they can become the safest person in the experience of the universe, the world, their relationship, life. So in this channel, which is something I've only done for my clients, is I'm going to come in and read the bigger picture of energy as I see it, and then see the spaces where there's opportunity for us to leverage what's happening collectively and to narrow it down to what's happening individually, and then to know where you are in that. What is yours to claim responsibility for, and how can you claim that, and how can you expand, and how can you make that conscious shift from fear into love. So please stay tuned. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. If this resonates for you, please like, subscribe, and then share. I'd love to reach as many people as I can in this conversation. Peace and blessing.